Hello YouTube, how are you all doing? Tonight we're going to explore what exactly happened with Lori, Alex, JJ, and Tylee and that trip to Yellowstone. You're going to find some pieces of information that go beautifully with the probable cause affidavit. That's why I'm doing it, sort of to continue to piece all that together. So stay with me and let's follow through this. So before we get started on the Yellowstone trip, we're going to first talk about some fast facts that I personally did not know, and you let me know if you knew them. I just thought they were kind of interesting, so I'll share them real fast. The first one is I did not know that Charles was paying upwards of 20 bills per month of Lori's family. That was from an interview I saw on Gray Hughes Investigates. It was an interview with Kay and Larry Woodcock, where they were talking about Charles's finances and that he was balancing. She said, in quote, I would quote it as, she said it was 22 lines per month. And so we're talking Janice, Barry, Colby, Tylee, and maybe even some of Lori's brothers and sisters. I don't know. It's absolutely insane. And the next fast fact is I did not know that Lori and Charles operated a juice stand in Kauai back in 2016. Did you guys know that? Didn't know that. I think in the beginning there was a lot of information that came out, and as the investigation and stuff went on, I think that things kind of became a little bit more tight-lipped, and because, you know, now we're dealing with a trial in the coming months and years. So things kind of had to go maybe a little more hush-hush. I don't know. I don't know the reason why. The next fast fact. I did not know that many years ago, according to Charles's ex-wife Cheryl, there were court-mandated cameras put into, I think, Lori's home to investigate her, but nothing came from them. Now, I heard that on, it's a YouTube user named Kelly G, and I was listening the other day to her interview that she was reading, and it was with Cheryl, Charles's ex-wife. I can't recall her last name. So I thought that was really interesting. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's move on, because we need to get into the Yellowstone reading. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to get done tonight, but I'm sure going to try. Let's begin. So, to start, have you ever thought that it would sure be nice to be a fly on the wall and see the way Lori interacted with people, to see the way Lori was when she was, you know, here in the real world destroying lives? You know, how was she interpersonally? Did she come off as kind or rude or demeaning or, you know, excitable or whatever you want to say? What was her personality like? And I think that in this Yellowstone trip, you kind of get a little bit of a snapshot of how she was as a mother. And that's kind of interesting, because who we are as moms is a lot of times a little bit different than how we are with other people, because the whole purpose of motherhood and stuff is obviously to rear your children and get them ready for the real world. So you're maybe a little bit more strict with your kids. Now let's go ahead and start this Yellowstone reading that Donna does. The date of it, I think, is March 28th, 2020. So this is what, about 3 months ago, I think? And I think that the account she has is like, wow, I would say it's exactly what happened if I had to really guess. Let's go ahead and begin. Okay, hello YouTube. I'm trying to get this video finished. It's not come easy for me. It's late at night here and my children are sleeping, so I'm trying to be especially quiet, but you know, that's not easy to do if you're making a video. And oftentimes when you see me in my closet, that's the reason why, is because it's late and it's gotta be quiet in my house or my children wake up, as you can only imagine. So to give you some idea as to context here, it was March 28, 2020 when Donna made this particular video. And what she was doing was channeling, I think she was channeling Charles. So Charles was the person that she was having show her the events that had happened. she was speaking with a family member of Charles in real life. So this was what I think we consider her sitter, is what she calls him. And that is the person that you'll hear her on the phone with. But back to the whole context here. Let's remember back in March. Nobody knew where the kids were, but they do know that the last place Tylee was seen was Yellowstone. And it was assumed at that point that she had probably died there. If she was dead, it was probably at Yellowstone. Remember, there was all sorts of speculation that she had fallen victim of, a glacier, of hot springs, and all these crazy things. But, people didn't know what to think because it was at a time when no one knew what was going on. But what's interesting about this video that you're going to hear is Donna didn't say that Tylee had died at Yellowstone. She ends up seeing Tylee beyond Yellowstone, just barely though. I mean, just a little past Yellowstone is what she ends up seeing. And you're going to hear some things that fall right in line with the probable cause affidavit again, such as West Yellowstone, that they exit and that they end up going to a restaurant. They stop by a restaurant afterwards, which is right out of that probable cause affidavit. So hang tight, and I will try to stop it as I see fit so I can kind of give you an idea of what I think is going on or what she is seeing. And over the course of probably 2 or 3 videos, we'll be able to get through this whole video of hers. But it does get extremely graphic. So any questions you had about what these kids experienced should end up being answered from this video alone. And the reason I chose this video particularly to review is because it's so relevant, and it's not possible that she fudged this, because given its date it was made, it being at the end of March, it's like nobody knew anything at the time. So she can't, nobody can say, oh, well, that was in the news, because it wasn't in the news. It was not in the news that they exited West Yellowstone. None of that. The last place that Tylee was seen was Yellowstone, not West. And you'll get to that point here in a little bit. That's why I'm making it known to you now. Now, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start the video as they are exiting Yellowstone, because I think that's really where the story begins. But to give you an idea of what happened while they were inside the park, JJ was really excited. He's seeing all these new sights and he's hearing new things, and he's just like running around, and Lori sort of has to rein him in because he could possibly get hurt at certain points. And Donna explains that at that point, Lori's not acting like a vicious, disgusting mother. She's acting like a very normal mother. And she explains that she sees Alex, but in so many ways she feels like Alex was not actually even there, which is kind of interesting and weird at the same time. Let's go ahead and pick up at this point when they're leaving Yellowstone.
And where we're going to, okay, I get it why. Where we're going to drive, it feels like, well, it's definitely a higher elevation. And then, okay, so I don't know if we're leaving back out the west gate of Yellowstone or not.
She says it.
I
west
shouldn't be wondering.
Gate of Yellowstone.
See, there I go.
Let me make that connection.
I'll just say what I'm...
All right. So if you refer back to paragraph 15, it says CAST, which stands for Cellular Analysis Survey Team. CAST has further informed law enforcement that Cox's phone exited the west entrance of Yellowstone National Park at 1840, so that's at 6:40. His phone appeared to be at Buckaroos Barbecue Grill in West Yellowstone, Montana, from 6:45 to 19:02, so 7:02. Cox then returns to Rexburg at approximately 8:37. So let's pick it up from there.
What I'm getting is, and now we're driving along a ledge, more like, it's not an exact ledge yet. It's still paved road. It still feels like, see, like what it feels like to me. I'll say what it feels like, but I don't know. it feels like we leave back out the west gate and go back on that 20. Oh, I got a little bit of chills. Go back on that 20, and then do we go along the 89 up there to those mountains? Yay! I think that's it, finally. That's where I felt like I was with Joe Ryan. But then I became confused.
Also, she had previously done a reading on Joe Ryan. So she's saying that Joe Ryan showed her this exact thing as well.
I got chills over both legs. Okay, so I don't know if that's called the 89, if they actually take that. So people shouldn't think it, but we do go back out that west gate, and we go up that back the 20. Now, I don't know if we go down, and I don't want to say what we do. I just want to wait and see where he takes me, okay? That was huge because of that. I mean, this has been a big question, too. So that was huge. Yeah, and the chills on my legs is like, oh, wow, okay, we finally got that. So I'm just let Charles take me where he takes me. We're at the top, so we're like at the top where the 20 is still going west. You know, after you're probably leaving Yellowstone then. Still going west, and I don't want to go ahead of him. There's something he has to have me see. I feel like we're stopping somewhere. I still feel like saying West Yellowstone, though.
How did she know that?
I don't know if we're stopping there to eat.
Amazing.
I'm not sure. I feel like we might be, but
And remember, let's revisit this little fact. Again, everybody thought that the worst happened to Tylee at Yellowstone. Donna's saying, no, that's not where the story ends with her. We continue, we leave the West Yellowstone exit, and we head towards a restaurant to which we stop at. That's only seen in the probable cause affidavit. She clearly saw this Yellowstone experience. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's carry on, though.
Sure. And I feel like it's a really pointed chalet style building. Really, really pointed roof. And I have chills on my legs and stuff, so I know this much is right. We're stopping there. It feels to me like it might have like rooms for rent too, like a lodge type feeling, but I'm not so much feeling like we're staying there yet. That Charles is taking away the energy as far as something's really wrong about what I'm saying or thinking. So I'll let it clear. He'll bring me back to here, but I feel like I do know for sure, because I got the big chills about that we stop at this place that's super pointed. I mean, so maybe I'm totally wrong about it being a lodge, and I could even be wrong about being in a restaurant, but I feel like I see tables set. I feel like I see tables, and it feels like a kind of a nice restaurant.
Okay.
And
I'm not sure if maybe Lori had looked at another restaurant prior to this, but this is the actual restaurant that they visited for 17 minutes on that evening of September 8th, I think it was. So she's talking about pointiness. I wonder if she's seeing, is it an Indian? It's like a Navajo. Oh gosh, I don't know, like almost looks like a Kachina doll or something, on the building. Anyway, just wanted to give you some context as to what she's seeing, what sounds like maybe she was seeing, I don't know. But she does say they stop off at a restaurant. It's not clear if they ate any food or if, actually she kind of says that no. It seems to be within the time frame where people aren't really eating yet. and so they don't eat, but she makes it very clear that Lori then uses the payphone that is outside.
Like there would be an attached lodges to it, but I don't know for sure. And for some reason, the energy goes down when I say that. So maybe it's just a place that I don't know. Maybe I should stop maybeing and just say, I do see the building with the pointed, it looks like a giant chalet style pointed building. I do see tables with nice white tablecloths that looks to me like it would be a decent, kind of expensive. It's not a cheap restaurant right there. So I don't know. We'll see if they go in it or not. We're not in it yet. I feel like it'd be presumptuous to say Lori wants to eat there. I feel like it'd be presumptuous to say that, but I'm barely. But no, the energy pool. But there's something's going on. Let me just sit here with it for a minute about this building. There's something about it I'm supposed to know or see. Maybe it's a sign or something that I'm supposed to see.
So maybe
I know what it is. Okay. So there's nothing about the stuff I said other than the shape of that building and the building itself. And it's either, it feels to me like they left Yellowstone first, but could potentially be just inside. So they'll know the building. And I have spirited.
Another thing that's kind of interesting is, and I didn't play this for you, but in the first maybe 15 minutes of this Yellowstone reading that she does, she sees JJ on animal figures, like it's at a playground or something. Well, as it turns out, at that Buckaroos restaurant, there's little animals that kids like climb on and stuff. So I'm wondering if maybe that's what she was seeing, or if there was, in fact, like an animal playground at Yellowstone in the park itself. I don't really know. I've never been there, but I thought that was kind of interesting. That's a crazy connection there.
There's something about it, and we're just going to wait and see. I don't know if they have a phone booth in front. They might have a phone booth. She may have stopped and used that phone booth. So, I feel like they pull in here. I do see through the window what looks to be like an expensive restaurant, especially if your kid wasn't being calm. You wouldn't want to waste the money to go sit in there. But it does. None of the tables are even set, and nobody's eating, and nobody's food. So you know what? It's probably not dinner time. Oh yeah, I'm getting chills now. Okay.
Because it's very close to that time frame.
They're at this building, I feel like dinner's not yet being served. You know how at fancy restaurants, they'll a lot of times close between 3 and 5 and stuff? That's what's going on. I got chills on my legs. So this is what it is. It's a time, he's telling us the time that they were here when she stops and uses the payphone.
Very interesting.
Is what it is. It's not about her wanting to eat there. It's about this payphone. I'm pretty sure. I still got the chills.
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I know that it was a short, very short snippet of the overall reading, but we're going to get into the next part, which is really going to answer the who, what, when, where, and why. And you guys will probably learn so much new detail you didn't know, which I'm sure is yet to come out in the media and law enforcement. Since at this point, they know the story and they think that we don't know. But we have a valuable asset named Donna who shared her knowledge with the world, and she truly saw what happened. I mean, that's evidenced in the fact that she even knew the kids were in West Yellowstone, that they went to a restaurant. I mean, those are details we only know about because of the probable cause. That's not just a detail that falls out of the sky or that you could guess. That's pretty amazing. So I hope you found value in it too, and get ready for the next video. We will carry on. Please like, subscribe, share where you can, and overall, whatever we can do to help Donna and to get Donna's name out there, that's what I want to do, because I would like her to get the recognition she deserves. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Have a good night.